time on the thing. Yo, what up? We back. We back in the building. I think we got this thing worked out now. Got the sound all together. So we're gonna jump on this TikTok live. The countdown has begun.
It's on Facebook too. Or just TikTok?
It should be Facebook, should be YouTube, should be Instagram, should be TikTok, should be everything. All right, so we had to log off and log back on because the sound wasn't coming through the speaker. The sound wasn't coming through the speaker. So we spent 30 minutes talking, and
In Braille.
I was saying basically, y'all was reading our lips basically. Y'all was reading our lips basically. For those of y'all that read lips, let's get this thing. We're gonna get it right, man. I promise you. We're gonna get it right. TikTok. Hey man, we appreciate y'all checking in. We appreciate the love. This is
You know that's upside down. Right?
what?
When you do that sideways like that, it's gonna show upside down and then after.
Nobody's on the live right now, so I can't ask anybody. It's gonna show. You sure it's gonna show upside down?
I think so.
We just have to wait till somebody jump on TikTok and see, so they can tell us whether or not we upside down. Okay, here we go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Me and Let's Chop It Up podcast with your host, Double D, my co-host, Cam, formerly known as Big Cam. Let me turn that echo down a little bit. Yeah, yeah. I'll turn the echo down a little bit. So I started this podcast back on Father's Day, June. I did the first podcast with my daughters, and this podcast is specifically about men. We're not doing relationship stuff. We may jump into a few things that may cross over into relationship, but we're not going to be giving relationship advice. That's not our cup of tea. That's not our expertise. So we're not going to be doing it, right? It's a whole bunch of experts out here right now telling everybody what their relationship should be like or what they should be expecting in a relationship, and that's just not what we're about. Like, we just decided to let y'all in on our conversations, right? Because we sit around a lot and we have a lot of conversations and we talk to a lot of our friends because we smoke cigars. And within the cigar community, um, people have suggested outside of the cigar community, because of the conversation that we have. People have suggested, man, y'all need to do something. Y'all need to do something live. Y'all need to do a show or have a podcast or something. And so I just decided, since I had already started the podcast, Me and Let's Chop It Up, that we would just infuse the two together, right?
And he would add a celebrity, me.
Yeah, and I would add somebody bigger than myself, right?
Impossible.
Yeah, I would add somebody bigger than myself. So me and Cam have been friends since 1985. We met 1985,
Right.
and our friendship.
Endured.
Yeah, shut up.
Endured.
I'm trying to give a description of how we became friends and how long we've been friends, right? So our friendship, 1986, when we got to the
Southwest
DeKalb High School,
University of South
we just kind of caught back up again, and we've been friends ever since, right? We've always been around each other. And then probably over the last 25, 30 years, we just kind of just solidified the relationship even more. Have we almost come to blows? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Have we almost fought each other? Yes. Have we said some things out the way to one another? Yes. But guess what?
Endure.
We endured. And that's why we still friends. Because we were able to
But it's gonna happen though.
Huh?
It's gonna happen though.
What's gonna happen?
Well, we're gonna get to fight.
I'm not fighting you, man. I keep
Wow.
telling you that. I'm not fighting you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
The only way I'm gonna fight you is if you put your hands on me.
say less.
You put your hands on me, then we got to come to blows. We got to come to blows.
Yeah, I think it's necessary.
Yeah. So
Over 30 years up.
I'm telling you. So
Come on,
I'm telling you. The day you put your hands on me is the day. Okay.
2 times.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
No, back to the line.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we just kind of decided to take our conversations to the platform, right? Because we talk a lot about things that men do, shouldn't do, and that are trying to accomplish things in this world, right? I'm a big advocate of men's mental health, because I actually had to go through some things and pull myself out of some things as well. Some things that Cam may not even know about, because as a man, I felt like I ain't really had nobody to talk to about it. Right? Because that's the kind of stuff men do. We don't always share our vulnerable things. And I really don't like the word vulnerable, because vulnerable means, to me, danger. So I use the word accessible, and I got that from Jason Wilson. He explained that very thoroughly of why you shouldn't say the word vulnerable as a man. Right. So, that's just kind of the thing we do. Like, we don't always express ourselves to other men, because that's always been a form of weakness. Right. But over the years, me and Cam have been able to express ourselves and, not worry about how the other person was going to look at the other person, because we went through similar things. So, we were able to talk about stuff, and I could tell him, like, I'm hurting. I'm feeling this kind of way. Like, when my mom passed, and I was on the phone with him.
We laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny then.
Yeah, it wasn't funny then. We laugh about it now, but he always make this joke.
I said, bro, you all right? He's talking about, but you know what? It takes a lot.
Yeah.
And we've had more than one moment like that. I think I flipped it back on him.
Yeah.
When I had somebody very close to me that passed away, and it just,
yeah,
it's tough, when you our caliber of men. We come from a strong line of men.
Right.
So, when if it gets to the point of the jerking tears, it's a little different, like it hitting different. So,
hey, if you're on TikTok and this is upside down, please let me know. Please let me know if this is upside down, because I got the phone on the stand, but it's on the side. And Big Cam said that when it's on the side, it shows upside down. So if it's showing upside down, please let me know. All right, let me know if it's showing upside down. If you could, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Because we are live streaming on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. This is Men Let's Chop It Up podcast with me, your host, Double D, and also...
Somebody explain to me where this voice comes from. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Where you at, Mr. B's? Man, listen, we doing a podcast, man. We ain't at the club. Come on, man. Stop playing.
That was me just...
They ain't gonna take us serious, man, in that voice.
Hey, but for real, though.
You cannot host in that voice. That is not that. Listen, Nothing's gonna come across if you hosting that boy.
All right, man.
All right.
Yeah. I was just being silly. That's my voice. My voice. That's my voiceover voice.
Oh, you need to practice. That's not good.
It's my voiceover voice.
Bro, that ain't good.
Live from the basement. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So so we just decided that we were gonna open up our conversations to the world, right? Because we sit around and we have very deep intellectual conversations. Sometimes we silly, we joan. You know, for those of you that don't know what joan mean, if you're in another part of the world, we crack on one another. Because we live from the ATL.
Absolutely.
We live from the ATL.
And it's authentic.
Yeah. And we say joan. We say joan.
We say joan.
You know, somebody say cracking, somebody snapping. You know, we say joan, right? So that's just what we do. But we just decided to open up the world, let the world into our conversations because we know other men sit around and do this too. They probably just aren't as open with it.
Right.
They just
they do it with us all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, when we sit and we partake in a nice glass of bourbon, a cigar, whatever, and they really the conversation sometimes get really, really deep because you know as you're partaking, you don't have any choice but to just sit still and talk.
Right.
You know, sometimes we're not in places that got a DJ and all this other stuff. We're just sitting having a conversation with grown folk.
Yeah.
And the conversations that arise and the different thought process, opinions, or just conversation in general has actually led us to this point.
Right.
Because they start asking us like, why y'all don't do a podcast? You know, because we engage in a conversation. We like to have those conversations because we're not afraid of it.
Well, and I don't know if it's like we just not afraid to have these conversations in front of people, right? We've always been like an open book. You know what I'm saying? So they're just things we just decided to share, and we just thought it was a good idea to share them with the world.
Yeah.
Right. And hopefully there'll be some men that come on and you know, offer their opinions. You know, we may have some guests every now and then. You know, for people to come in that want to offer their perspectives on the things that we're talking about. But our topic today, since we back on, because when we were first on, the sound wasn't coming through. So now that we have sound, the topic that we have for today is
gender role.
No, that wasn't topic.
Yes, it was.
That wasn't no.
He was talking about men and women having a disconnect in gender.
God dang. Oh, this is what it is. I got it. What does it mean to be a man in this society? And how gender roles have become confused amongst men and women. That was the title, right? And you gave a great opening monologue to that.
And you want me to remember what I said?
And if it was pure, and it wasn't used car salesman, you could drop it again, and I'm pretty sure you can drop it again.
So.
Hey man, I like this weight loss, man. My stomach don't look as big as it did before. I don't feel bad sitting in front of this camera. I just had to drop that in. Yeah.
It's because the camera's way over there from my view. But okay, all right. So it's very important to understand that today's society is different than yesterday's society.
Amen.
Okay. So what has distorted that disconnect in gender roles, it's really hard for people to identify what their role is. And one of the reasons why it's hard for them to identify it is because let's start with the women. It's so many women in the world. I ain't gonna say just the world, but let's specifically speak about Atlanta.
Yeah, let's use Atlanta.
Okay.
You know,
Atlanta, the ratio of men and women is quite large.
Rather large.
And then the ratio of single women is even larger.
Hallelujah.
So those single women, in most cases, are taking on both gender roles. Uh, and that's knowingly, unknowingly, wanting to or don't want to. It's just reality, because if there's kids involved, then there's certain things that you don't have to do if there's not a man or a man in the relationship. So those gender roles get distorted.
So, and that's what you said prior to the sound dropping out. And I respect that, because you're absolutely right. Um, the gender roles, the line is so blurred on what, and I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna just say this: what a man and a woman is supposed to be doing, right?
Right.
Those lines are so blurred um, on how things are supposed to happen, right? So traditionally, and this is what I said before.
Mm-hmm.
Traditionally, there are expectations from a man, and there are expectations from a woman, right? As a man, because I can say that I even said this to my, that I've said this before myself, that I wanted a woman like my mom. Most women do. I mean, most men do. They want a woman like their mom. But those of us that grew up with moms and like their moms, because what I found out over my 53 years on this earth is a lot of cats out there that don't like their mom. You know what I'm saying? Or didn't grow up with a mom, right? So that's also been something that's skewed the line and blurred the line of what they expect from a woman, right? And women, on the other hand, they always talking about they want men like their fathers and
Right.
their uncles,
Right.
and their grandfathers,
Right.
right? But what's happened is the shift in what, to me, why traditional things don't play a part in how things are right now is because women, specifically black women, are more educated these days. They hold the most college degrees. I think they second in masters,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and I'm saying that to say they earn more money now. That's why traditional roles are the lines are blurred, because prior to that, women didn't make the kind of money men was making. So it was more of a subservient type role for a woman to play.
In some cases. In some cases.
Well, if you talk about our parents and our grandparents,
Well, I mean, both my parents did very well. Some people, I don't remember a struggle. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, I was probably, I didn't grow up necessarily in the hood. I wasn't less fortunate.
I mean, we grew up middle class. I mean, just call it
Middle
keep it
class,
a buck. Keep
right?
it a buck.
So, that portion of things, I do understand it, because I had family members that did, or relatives that did, or friends, or whatever that had. I had a balance. I kind of knew several different worlds, because I also had some family members and friends and all that had the bag. But I think when you spoke on something earlier, you said we always wanted somebody like our mom, or we always wanted somebody like our dad. But what we don't realize in having that thought process, there's something that changes that. Okay. And
Speak on it, brother.
what the one thing that changes that is something that you could never do with your mom or your dad, and that's intimacy. Because intimacy changes that thought process. I don't care how you look at it. When you become intimate with somebody,
And you don't just mean sexually,
I know I don't.
right?
I don't at
So,
all.
so let's clear that part up, because we're being intellectual right now,
Right.
right? So intimacy is more than sexual experience.
Right.
Sorry
So
for interrupting.
yeah, so it's more of, the thought process changed because the variance of love language changed. It's not the same love language or language that you have with your parent. I had to catch myself, um, because I started raising my daughter like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that, hey, I can't raise her to be, I'm raising her to be my daughter, not to be a wife, because it changes. I taught her how to, have your own money. Make sure, a person respect you a certain way, carry yourself a certain way, do this and do that. But her dad provided everything. Okay, she didn't need certain things, but then, right, things changed because when intimacy became involved, okay, and they grow older, then what Dad said, there's a foundation.
Went in one ear and out the other.
Well, I ain't gonna say that. There's still a foundation, but it changes. It changes the thought process a lot. I know when I was growing up, as I got older and start partaking in other things and getting in relationships with women and stuff like that, it just it changed my risk factor was different. you know, certain
Their risk factor assessment.
the risk factor assessment. So
Yeah.
I would do things knowing I shouldn't do things, but I always had that foundational piece that brought me back. You know what I'm saying? To reality, like, nah, man, you can't do that.
Yeah.
That ain't.
Yeah. And it's funny that you said you was raising your daughter to be a daughter and not a wife, because I'm completely opposite thinking of it. And this is why I like that we getting into these type of conversations, because I have two daughters too, right? Khalees, 22, Kyla, 20. And I often tell them, and I've been telling them as long as I can remember, that I'm raising you all to be wise. I'm raising you all to be wise. And people always have a problem with me saying that because I'm not a woman. But who else can teach a woman to be a wife than a man or somebody that was a husband? Because I was a husband at one point. Me and that mother got divorced, but I don't talk to them. We talk about everything. Like there's nothing that we don't talk about. Intimacy, sexually, intimacy, as far as thought processes, like we talk about everything, right? Now we don't get into details about sex because I might strangle somebody.
Mm.
But we do have these type of conversations, right? We talk about what a man expects from a woman. What a man wants to see from a woman, and what a woman should expect to see when she's dealing with a man, not a boy, but a man,
Right.
right? Because there are a lot of boys out here pretending to be men, and what I do is I teach them how to point out whether you have a boy or a man in front of you. I give them signs. I tell them things to look for as far as if you're dealing with a boy or with a man.
You put them on game.
I put them on game. I tell them what to look for, right? And I also tell them, like, even going out on dates, right? One of my prime rules on first dates for my daughters is take some money with you, take some cash with you, right? If he offers to pay for the meal, that's fine. But if he doesn't offer, or if he doesn't pay for the meal, that's not a slight on him, because you talking about somebody 20, 21, 22 years old,
That's right.
right? And he may not have the bread to take you out like that.
But he truly might be wanting to spend the time with you, get to
Right.
know you, and
He's
all
trying
that
to
stuff.
find out who you are.
And let's
right?
be clear, we've all done it. Where we have put ourselves in a predicament to,
Overspent,
yeah,
trying to impress.
trying to impress,
Yeah, I did
and,
it.
and got behind the 8 ball
I did it.
early.
I did
You
it
know
when
what I'm
when I
saying?
was 23. When I was 23,
Yeah.
I spent my light bill on this chick. Went out, took out the dinner, spent my light bill. It was worth. It was worth it.
Uh-uh.
It
No.
was worth it, but I did it.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
did it, right?
I did it too.
But the flip side too, and also what I also tell them, going out on dinners is if he does pay for the meal, put the tip down. Pull some money out your pocket, out your wallet, and put the tip down, right? And if he say no, that's different,
Hold on. Let's go even deeper than that. Then.
right? Well, let me
Okay, go
explain.
ahead.
Let me explain. But why I tell them to put the tip down? Because the tip says you a partner. That's what the tip says. The tip says you're not expecting him just to pay for the meal so you can eat free. No, you showing him that this is you building partnership processes in the very beginning. You showing him that you're a partner. So if he say no, I got it. That's different.
Right.
But what you showing him is you appreciate the meal, and the least I can do is leave the tip.
Well, let me add to that. The
Okay.
least you could do is say thank you,
Also,
and I appreciate you.
also that's first.
That's
Yeah.
that is more important to me than anything, and I think that's a topic for another day.
Right. Because we don't want these lines to get blurry. We talk
Yeah.
about gender roles.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's go back to talking about the gender roles. Okay. I, for one, do not like washing dishes,
but you will.
but I will. There's a lot of things that I don't care to do, but I will. I don't think, I think the role is determined by the conversation. That makes sense?
That make perfectly good sense.
I think how it was, I was fortunate enough to experience life with my great grandparents, my grandparents, and my parents. Okay. My great grandmama and granddaddy were married and together, and I spent a lot of quality time in my younger years with them. So I got to see that portion of parenting.
You real messed up.
No, I'm not.
No, and I don't.
I'm so not messed up, bro.
And I don't mean that. I don't mean that from a facetious place. I mean, but you got to see 3 generations of what marriage and love look like.
So what that did was it gave me clarity and understanding about shifting. Okay, because if my great grandparents were together, then my grandparents were together, and then my mom and dad been together 56 years. Okay,
Good Lord of mercy.
married 56,
Married.
knowing each other since 4th grade. I had a
And I've been born.
well, I had a well-rounded understanding of, number one, what partnership is, because I saw it in 3 different phases. And then the next phase that I saw was my success stories and failure, in relationship. Okay. So
I know you can hear that.
I appreciate it. But even my success stories or failures in relationship taught me about the transition between conversation and understanding. And I think that's where a lot of things become important when you start talking about gender roles. Because truth be told, a role is just what it is. It's a role. I don't think it always has a gender. Okay? But what I do say that there are boundaries that you should want to follow as a man or as a woman. You know what I'm saying? There are certain things that you should not want your man to do, or certain things I should not want my woman to do.
Right.
And
then vice versa. That's vice
versa. And it gets hard. That's
vice versa though.
It is.
Things, and we're not taking this. We're not going to relationship wise.
Right.
We just talking about expectations from a gender role. What gender roles, how they play a part as far as what makes a man and what makes a woman.
Well, I mean, I still say life intended, okay, or there were things that transpire in creation that put us in position to do certain things a certain way. That makes sense.
I'm following you.
Um,
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
he just didn't equip each side to do certain things. He gave us certain things to be able to do certain things.
You mean him?
Him,
Yeah, him.
him.
Yeah.
So that's the very important part of understanding is, do you understand what you were created? That's where the lines get distorted.
Um, I also believe that a lot of that makeup or a lot of the roles are defined by what you see,
Right.
right? That's one of the things that I'm a firm believer in. You can only be what you see, right?
I agree.
Um, is it a possibility for you to get to that place? Yeah.
Yeah.
You could grow. You could be mentored. You could decide this is what I want to do. This is who I want to be. This is what this is I'm tired of living this way, or I want more for myself. You can take those roles and you can make them into something else, right? But the chances of being a man, seeing a man operate in your home,
Mm-hmm.
the chances are you're going to grow up and be a man, right?
Right.
There are different things that go on within people's homes. Everybody's home is different. Everybody has different fathers. Those of us who grew up with fathers. Um, everybody fathers different. They have different perspectives and different things that they teach their children. Nothing is really the same. But if you've got good morals, good substance, good heart, good mind, good thoughts, and your father is leading the household, then in most cases you're gonna grow up and be a leader,
That's true.
right? You're gonna grow up and you're gonna be an upstanding individual, right? And I'm not even being sarcastic about this, right? I'm not even trying to be funny about it, but in most cases, that's what's gonna happen. Um, is this the reality of what's happening in today's world? That's what's going on right now within America? Well, black men, white men, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Asian. Is that what's happening, or are we seeing more men stand up in the homes and teaching their daughters and their sons to be stand up individuals? Are we seeing that more? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe,
Maybe. Maybe.
maybe. I don't know. It would be unfair for me to shake my head and say no.
Anybody making any comments on TikTok?
Let me check TikTok.
Hey, if you're on TikTok, make sure that you like the live,
You like and share.
like and share, like and share.
Y'all sideways.
He trying to cock his big old head so he can see
Y'all
the stuff
sideways.
sideways.
Hey, we new to TikTok. All right. Don't.
That's what they said. We
They
sideways.
said we sideways.
I told you that, bro. You ain't want to listen to. I the whole time we've been cockeyed on TikTok.
We've been cocked out like a mug on TikTok. All right, my bad, my fault. I ain't know we was gonna
just
be cocked.
unclip it, man.
All right, hold on. Keep talking.
So I hate when you do this too, man, and just have me keep talking because now I ain't on no point. But we understand that there is an influx of men that are out of place. We get that, okay? We get that they are, some of us.
That's Dwayne too much outside.
Some of us are, we go through our challenges or we growing. We're enduring and dealing with different things and so on and so forth. But the reality is, um, we talked about this last week. The reality is we haven't changed from being what they call a real man, because a real man is one that was created a man. So those we haven't changed in our thought process of what our gender role is. It's just the same as it is for anybody else. Life challenges create some different scenarios that changes that on a day-to-day basis.
Dwayne, can you hear us good? Can you hear us good, Dwayne?
I was about to say something, and I ain't gonna even do it.
What?
Nah. You know I'm stupid. Dwayne on here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
Don't not do it.
So,
Do it anyway.
but that's
All right, we back. Check, mic check.
I didn't leave.
All right.
We're just upside right now.
Dwayne talking about stop your shit.
Okay, Dwayne, I'm stuck.
All right.
So,
All right.
I want to hear from y'all. Like, I mean, what is your thought process of how the gender roles has changed the structure of
today's society,
and how is it affecting manhood?
Man, I'm telling you, them lines are blurred now, man. Those lines are blurred as far as what gender roles is, because I don't know if you saw this video. This chick was this guy and this woman was getting married. Okay. The preacher was going through.
I saw it. I know what you're gonna say.
The preacher was
and
going
she
through.
Said obey.
And he said something, obey. And she wouldn't say obey.
Yeah, she said, I'm not obeying
she
you.
Said, I ain't. She said clearly, I'm not obeying you.
I'd have got up and walked out.
Bruh.
And it's not about the necessary word of obey. My thing is, if your expectations is for me to provide and to protect
and to secure
and make you safe, then it comes with instruction.
Yes.
And if you cannot follow those instructions, I can't protect you.
I
can't protect you.
I can't provide for you.
And I'm gonna use an example. When I did executive protection, okay, and I've, in my past, I've done some executive protection for quite a few celebrities, athletes, and so on and so forth. One thing I did in my consultation and in my contract is stated, if I give you instructions to do something a certain way and you don't do it, then you void. You still got to pay me, and I'm subject to drag you to safety. That dragging may not be to your liking because it might cause you to get yoked up. But at the end of the day, it's what I'm commissioned to do. And if you don't know the extent of what I do and what it takes to do what I do, then you won't understand why my instructions is what it is. It's to make sure that you're safe. It's to make sure that you're protected. It's to make sure that I can provide for you. You know what I'm saying? So that word obey means, can I lead you to a place that you expect me to lead you to? Okay? If you want me to take care of you and be the person that you expect me to be, then you got to be able to allow me, okay, to get my directions from who purposed me, okay, and be able to lead us.
That's why it's imperative. It's important. Like, I don't even know what another word you can use other than obey.
Well,
right.
That was the structure that they used.
Right.
I don't think that it's ever changed. It's always been that. People want to change it because they wanted to tailor their understanding or their choice to do what they decide to do. And unfortunately, those choices come with consequences. I'd have left her sitting right there at the altar.
I'd have left her right there.
I'm not obeying you. I'm not gonna do nothing you tell me to do.
Yeah.
Well, what I need to be with you for?
Yeah.
You,
And he stood there all quiet.
and I didn't, and he didn't even say anything. It
Yeah.
was the minister. It was the pastor that was officiating it that read the vows.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, but like most couples, they go through the counseling prior to.
Hopefully they went through counseling.
You couldn't address this before you got to that.
Hopefully they went through some counseling.
Well, it's obvious that wasn't spoke upon.
But my point is, just having the ability to understand, what the gender roles are and how the gender roles play a particular part between a man and a woman, right? And even outside of a relationship, right? There are roles that have to be played. There are things that have to be done, right? So even today, I was walking into a building and there was a young lady behind me. So I opened the door for her, right? And I said dough because I'm from Atlanta.
What?
The dough.
The dough.
The dough. I
Right.
said the dough.
The dough.
I opened the door for her. She walked in. She didn't say thank you. I appreciate it. She didn't say anything. So you know me, bro.
What you say? Bro?
You know me. I don't have no filter.
None.
Right?
Zero.
I say the first thing come to my mind. I said to her, at least you could have said thank you.
And what was her response?
She looked back and said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was just in my own little world or whatever." And I was like, "That's cool. It's cool. It's all good. I just thought I was trying to be a gentleman trying to be a gentleman and hold the door for you." She was like, "Thank you very much. I appreciate it." And then she said, "Damn, you aggressive." I said, "See,
Yeah. You're aggressive because you got boundaries.
I'm aggressive because I spoke up for myself."
Because you got boundaries.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm a man and I play my role.
Right.
Right? Because the expectation is
you ain't open that door soft enough.
I didn't open it soft enough?
Yeah.
Boy, you stupid.
You open that door soft enough.
But that's what I mean. Even outside of relationships, there are roles to be played. Mm-hmm. There are roles to be played even outside of relationship. And I told y'all from the jump, we're not doing the relationship advice stuff. We're not doing it. Mm-hmm. Like, we just giving our perspectives on what we believe, what's right and what's wrong, what's good and what's bad, and what's worked in our lives as we have matured, aged, and gained wisdom throughout my 53 years and his 52 years on this earth, right? And we just decided to bring it to the platform and give people opportunity to sit around, and listen to me and have a conversation, right? So it's in the beginning of the statement is the beginning of the statement that even got us to this point was, what is a man? What's a man in today's society, right? Because the gender roles have become confused.
And I'm gonna tell you something else that has distorted the gender roles because of what they consider to be a role of a man. Okay.
And vice versa.
And a lot of it has to do with financial. A lot of the identification of what a man is or supposed to be is based upon its financial stability or status. And what I've understood from watching some of my buddies from and people around me and some of my mentors, as I've talked to them and stuff like that, people have never seen or very rarely see the struggle. They see the success story. Okay. but very rarely do they get to see what it took for you to get to that point. But you are judged by where you're going, not where you. I mean, no, you're judged by where you're at, not where you're going. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of times, it doesn't. You know, the problem is it don't measure up to a person's expectation based upon where you're at because they can't see past that.
Yeah.
Why they can't see past that? Because they didn't call you to that purpose of where you going. So if they wasn't present when and I'm when God told you or spoke into you and said you're going to be this, okay? And he didn't spell out the instructions that it was going to take or what levels you're going to have to go through to get there. But the reality is you're going to get there.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, that becomes very, very difficult when people are trying to identify what is a man's responsibility and his role in my life. Okay? Because when we start talking about gender roles, uh, if you're going to come or enter into a relationship with someone, and their expectations have been made up based upon a numerous of things, how they was raised, was it a single or parent home,
Life experiences.
life experiences,
Yeah.
their degrees, their education level, their level of success. I can probably go for another 30 minutes saying what changes a person's thought process of their expectations based upon the status of the person. But does that change the person? Does that change me and who I am as a man because I haven't gotten the level of success you have? You know, it took me a lot to get where I am. But who was there? Okay, I'm gonna use an experience. There was a portion of my life in between that I struggled. Okay, because I went from doing personal security, running clubs, and I had a job where I was making at any given time I was making $3,000 to $6,000 a night. Okay, but then I was young. If I would have known what I know now, you know, I put some folk through college. I've I've
From the shoe show.
from the shoe shop.
Okay. Shoe shop.
I've popped a lot of bottles. You know, I made it rain. I flexed a lot. And if I could go back now at 53, you know, getting ready to be 53 years old, if I could go back and change all of that, I probably wouldn't have never had this switch.
It's called life experiences.
It's called life experience. You know, but sometimes people meet you in this broken stage.
In the middle, yeah, in
Right.
the middle where you trying
know,
to fix it.
Not even fix
Well,
it.
not fix it, but
When
when
you transition.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the transition was when you become a man or an adult, you put away childish things.
Shut it live, Dwayne and David. Shut it live. We'll see y'all in there.
You put away childish things. So some of those childish things you do, you know, like I knew at 50-some years old, I couldn't you be mollywopping folk in the club. You know what I'm saying? I can't choke folk up. I couldn't even do security that I was doing for some of the artists that I had now, because they just the game changed. You know, it's dangerous.
When I was a child, I thought as a child.
Correct. You know, now that I'm a man, you know,
I put away childish things.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. You sleeping, dog?
No, I was gonna say something.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say something, but
I'm on ready. I'm on ready.
I was about to drop one of them bombs on you,
Go ahead.
but no, I'll save it for later.
Okay.
I save the
Because
plate.
you know I stay ready.
I know you do.
Okay.
I know you do. You always hungry. Yeah, you always hungry.
Right.
Yeah. But there are. What, man? What? I hate you, man. I swear to God, I hate you, man. I hate you. I hate you. You should have say something.
I think in the middle of the podcast he was nodding off. He was thinking about hot pockets jumping over the fence. Everybody else count sheep. He count pig in the place. Jump over. Hey, man, don't do it. Don't
Man,
do it. Don't
why
do it.
all your Jones be food affiliated? Dog?
Because I know what you be thinking about.
Every time you crack on me, it's always some food affiliated.
Hey,
All you
man.
think about is food.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
All,
Squirrel?
all you talk about is food, man. You got to find you another hobby, man.
I told him earlier today we went to breakfast before we started because we had to meet and handle some business. And he ordered his food and he's like, man, I'm stuffed. I can't, I can't eat no more. I said, why you don't just store it like you do the nuts, squirrel? put, put it back in the, put it back in there for later. Okay, man. Let's get back to stuff, man. Golly.
I'll let you just go ahead and get it out.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead and get it out.
So, listen, you're going to get the humor.
Yeah, you're going to get the seriousness.
You're going to get the wisdom.
You're going to get the intellect.
You're going to get the spiritual.
Yeah, you're more spiritual than you know.
And you're going to get the man. And this is what Me and Chop It Up is about. It's a platform for other brothers to get on here. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have many. I mean, if you go on TikTok and all the other stuff, you don't have a whole lot of. We're not necessarily. You got a lot of people that's on TikTok and doing all these. What you call it?
Relationship.
Nah, what they call it? God, I can't get it out. I can't get it out. But anyway, they doing all of these different
Oh, man, my phone just died.
podcasts and stuff like that.
Oh.
It's content creating. That's what it was. Content create. We're not in here to content create to be seen or to run up the check and all that other stuff. We are hardworking men, business owners, career oriented men. And that's not to say if anybody that's on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram that has become content creators, um, those are they are very talented individuals to be able to create a platform for themselves. We're just looking at the platform a little bit different. We're trying to inform, and not to inform to give instructions, but inform to create a conversation so people can get answers. And those answers don't necessarily just come from us. Those answers come from the audience, you. Some of the comments that are made on the live, um, as well as uh, on TikTok and so on and so forth. Um, it's important that we have these conversations because you don't know what people, are thinking about. I mean, I know two people recently in the last 3 years. I know of two people that committed suicide. Um, and we didn't know. We didn't know what they were dealing with. We didn't know what they were going through. You see it on the news a lot, and it's a lot of men out here holding on or holding in a lot of stuff. And men, let's chop it up is an opportunity for them to let it out. Not be judged, not be, you know what I'm saying? And let me say this directly to the women that get on this podcast to hear, because it's a platform for women to get on and ask questions or get clarity or just listen in, for their own, so they can study themselves to prove. But let me say this: just this is not the platform to come on and judge the men that have the um the courage to just talk about it. It's a lot of people that really want to have those discussions,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and just don't have a safe place to have it. So it's important. It's important to have these conversations and talk about it because it's just so much going on in the world, and I can tell you for one, as a man and as a black man, uh, even just talking about this new war we're in, that adds a whole level of stress and pressure um, to the protector. My son came to me because he watched TV, and his question to me was, "So, Daddy, what are we gonna do if China get involved?" And the only answer I could give him was, "We just gonna pray, you know, and we're gonna do our part and do our due diligence." And a lot of times, that's the only answer we have when we're on a day-to-day basis trying to find the answer. Because at the end of the day, we are held accountable um, by the good Lord for certain things to transpire. So, um, and I say that to say, if uh, if somebody, and I'm gonna use this as an example, if they come to my house, they got to see me first. So, it doesn't matter what the situation is. You got to see me, and you got to see them 4 beasts I got upstairs. Uh, and sometimes people don't understand the things you do and why you do it, but I sometimes my clarity is different because I understand my clarity comes from my responsibility. So some things, you know, uh, whether I take the time to explain it or not, uh, the clarity is I understand my role. When we go back to gender roles, I understand my role uh, in what I was called to do, regardless.
I appreciate you holding it down because I am engineering as well as
I mean, I can hold it down. I don't really need you in the show. To be
you know
honest with you, I'm the star.
I mean
All right, I'm just playing, man. Go
no,
ahead.
it's all good. You are a star though, Star Crunch.
I've been saying I knew it was something coming after that. I knew
Yeah,
something was coming after that.
you're a Star Crunch. You remind me of a Star
I
Crunch.
haven't had a Star Crunch in
Yeah,
years.
a little dippy,
I
little
will.
round,
I might go
crunchy,
get me a Star Crunch
little
tomorrow.
round, chocolate, chunky Star Crunch. That's what you look like.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. But I appreciate you holding it down for me because I am multitasking as we put this podcast together, man. We lost TikTok because my phone died. Um,
Oh Lord, have mercy.
so we still on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
So you have to do TikTok through your phone, through the computer.
Yeah, because for whatever reason, the TikTok live is not it's not giving me access to it on the computer.
Oh, okay.
So I gotta wait for them to give me access on the computer. I can do it on my phone, but they haven't given me access on my computer yet. So as soon as I do it on my computer, we won't have that problem anymore. But I think this is I think this has been good conversation, man. We can wrap it up here because it's almost 12 o'clock, and we kind of got a late start because we were having technical difficulties.
Technical difficulty.
But again, we're gonna get this right, man. So just bear with us, man. Y'all gonna remember how we started, and then y'all gonna be with us.
Yeah, so take this journey with us.
Yeah, man.
Take
the
this journey.
I like the way you said that.
Take this journey.
Take
with
this
us.
journey with us as we build this platform, and we try to build up men.
Yeah.
We try to build up men. And one thing that I want to point out before we log out, the suicide rate amongst men, if I'm not mistaken, is 4 times greater than women.
Mhm.
And over the last 6 months, the suicides that we know about because of they were athletes,
Mhm.
Superstars in the world, considered superstars in the world.
One recently.
2 football players. Um, what's the guy name?
Rondell Moore.
Rondell Moore. Yeah, just recently.
And then the I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No, go
then
ahead.
to hear Kyle Pitts say how disappointed he was that nobody showed up for him
Yeah.
at his funeral. People that said they cared about him, you couldn't show up to.
Right, and that's part of the reason why he checked out.
Yeah, correct,
Because he felt like nobody showed up for him.
Nobody showed up for him.
Right.
He ain't had nobody.
Right, and fortunately, um, you know, I've never been suicidal, but I have had low points in my life where I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna go on. So
Well, I can't say the same. I mean, I've had moments in my younger years that I just didn't want to continue.
yeah,
And it was it was tough. It was
Yeah.
real tough.
yeah,
But because I realized my life was bigger than me, my calling was bigger than me, my existence is bigger than me, and that I'm not here for my own selfish reasons.
yeah,
Uh, that's what got me to. That's what grew me. You know what I'm saying? That's what really grew me and learned me, and put me in a position to now be able to share and touch and uh, help others grow because I had to, and I had everything. I had it all.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people, you'll be like, for real, you man, that's something my parents probably didn't never.
Let me tell you something. The suicidal rates amongst men with money are just as high as men without.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's not necessarily based upon whether or not you're financially successful. Like it depends on what a person is mentally
Yeah.
and spiritually within his life.
Well, mine was not something more so. I was just an angry person
Yeah.
at a point. You know what I'm saying? I had the dog in me. I wanted to fight. Like, and that fight got so bad that you know what I'm saying.
You was fighting within
I
yourself.
would start fighting within myself.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
Because if I got it out, I was gonna really hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot of stuff that people don't really discuss and talk about, and I'm thankful that I got the opportunity to talk about it. You know what I'm saying, or talk about a lot of different things that molded and made me.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what sharing can do to help somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm gonna be completely transparent right now. I started therapy about 4 weeks ago, right? So I have my own personal therapist right now because I did a lot of personal work inside myself. I fought through some things, some battles within myself, and I actually got to a place. I think I shared on my. I think I shared on my TikTok page a picture of little me and a picture of older me, and the caption was, "Little Danny don't have to take care of Big Danny anymore."
Mm.
Um, because I was suffering from some things that happened in my childhood, some things that I went through, and some things that I was struggling with in my childhood that I made it through, that I fought through, you know, by myself, right? And I can say by myself, but it really was the grace of God
Mm-hmm.
because I do have a real relationship with the Almighty,
Right.
right? So, along with a lot of prayer, a lot of conversation, a lot of meditation, I was able to get to a particular place to where I was healed. But there was another part of healing that I needed that I couldn't personally do on my own, right? And a friend of mine, a female friend of mine, suggested that I do therapy. And I've always kind of shunned that, like, man,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that was me.
yeah, I don't do that. Man, look, black people don't need no
Yeah, I don't need
therapist,
no therapist. I
you
don't
know.
need no counselor. I don't need this. I don't need that.
But what has happened is the therapy is unlocking some things in me to get me to the second part of the healing that I'm trying to get to, right? So these are some of the things that I'm going to be talking about throughout this podcast. Me and Let's Chop It Up, because therapy is good.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy is a good thing. Therapy is something that can be rejuvenating to the mind, body, and the spirit, right? Because a lot of times that's what we do as men. We fight through these battles on our own, but there's another key, another lock that needs to be unlocked
Mm-hmm.
that only can happen, with the help of God and a therapist,
Uh-huh.
right? Those two things in combination together can unlock that other door, and that's what I'm trying to get to now, right? And this is another part of my therapy. Me and Let's Chop It Up, because I do have such a passion for men, and I do want to see men be successful. I do want to see men win. I just told my boy the other day, I want to see you win, dog.
Yeah. Uh,
I want to see you win.
one of the things that we're going to do as well is um provide resources, study and find different resources so that we can take our rightful place back.
And this is the opportunity for us to talk about um, our nonprofit.
Oh yeah.
We do have a nonprofit. It's called A Man's Mission. You can actually go on to, you can see us online. You can see us on the internet. It's a man's mission.org. It's spelled exactly the way it sounds. A man's mission.org. A man's mission.org. And you can see some of the things that we are involved with now. We will be adding more things to the website, more things that we're going to be getting involved with that's geared toward young men. So we try to mentor young men from the age of 12 to 21, because we want to see men, we want to see young men, young boys become grown men, right? So if you get an opportunity, log on to our website, amansmission.org. All right. I am the COO of A Man's Mission. Cam is the CEO of A Man's Mission. And those titles are just because we have to have the titles listed on our nonprofit paperwork. But we are both equal in our works, our doing, and our giving, and our providing for our nonprofit. So look out for things we got coming in the future. Things that we're working on now. We'll be starting our um, voter registration pretty soon. That's part of one of our initiatives.
Very important.
Voter registration, voter education. We want to be able to teach people about who the local people in your neighborhood that's running for office. Um, those state representatives in your neighborhood that's running for office, the judges, the solicitors, the commissioners, all those people that's in your neighborhood that you need to know about that affects you directly. On the federal level, those jobs are important too, but what affect you directly
Is the local.
is the local. And we focus more on the local offices more than anything. All right? So be on the lookout for voter information coming from a man's mission, mentorship for young men 12 to 21. All right? We're going to call it a night. Big Cam, I appreciate you.
Always a pleasure, bro.
You said you're not going to do Big Cam no more.
Yeah. I'm about to lose 60 pounds, bro.
All right. So we'll say formally Big Cam.
Take walk. Like it's
Yes, we are.
we wake up insulting each other
Insulting each
daily,
other every day.
but it's pushing us to continue this journey and watch us on the way to -60.
Right. So I started mine before Cam started his. But we both are progressing. We're both moving into a place of smaller clothes.
Yeah.
You know, we both moving to a place. So when I started in September of 25. So my journey started a little bit earlier than his, but we both are committed to this weight loss. We both are committed to better health.
And we're gonna encourage you, men.
Yeah, we're gonna encourage you, men. You got to be around for your kids.
Health.
My son told me I have a son that's 33. His name is Julian, and he told me a couple months ago. He was like, "Bruh, I don't know what I'd do if you ain't here, man."
Yeah. So we're gonna give you some recipes. We'll
Yeah.
give you some, some different health kicks and
Yeah.
stuff that we learned throughout. And we're gonna take this journey. We're gonna take this journey to success and purpose.
Right. And here's a quick little success that you can start doing right now. Stop eating bread.
No more bread.
If you stop eating bread, you'll
Man, I had some cornbread today. I forgot about that, man. I had a small piece.
You'll immediately begin to see a difference in how you feel. Stop eating bread.
Oh, I got one. He said bread. Stop drinking sweet tea.
I had some sweet tea today.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut the bread out. You cutting the sweet tea. I'm lemon water or water.
Sweet tea.
No sweet tea, brother.
Yeah. All right, bet. All right, man. We down to one. We down to one person, and we lost TikTok about 15 minutes ago because my phone died. But we appreciate y'all checking in. We appreciate y'all staying with us. Before when we did have sound. So check us out, man. We'll be back. I know I said the other day we're gonna be doing it every day, but that's impossible because we both got lives, we both got stuff to do. So we're gonna do this as much as we can. You may get a notification, you may not get a notification.
Right.
But we're gonna do this as much as we can because we are committed to seeing men thrive and be the best that they can be. Because when men are being men, it gives the world an opportunity to grow. When men are being men, it gives the world the opportunity to grow. It's not taking anything away from the significance of a woman. Because like James Brown said,
can't do nothing.
It's a man's world.
But can't do nothing.
But you can't do nothing. And it means nothing
without a woman or a girl.
Bet that.
Holla
at y'all, man. We'll catch y'all next time.